Hey guys, Tom here. Welcome back to the Underground. You know, it's cold here today. It was blustery. I actually had a heavy sweatshirt on today, which makes me want to just go back to the tropics, into some warm weather, some salt water, some sun, and that's exactly what we're going to do on part 2 of our Bahamian cocktail party. And today we're serving something called sky juice and a little ceviche, which I'll get to in a little bit. But first I want to talk to you a little bit about sky juice. Sky juice has been around since probably the early 20th century. And what happened was, I don't know if you know, but the Bahamas it's called an archipelago, which basically means just a crap ton of islands. I think if you count even the little baby ones, there's like 700 and something that spans over like 1,000 miles. And what happened was, in the early 20th century, people were getting a taste for cocktails and lively cocktails, extravagant cocktails. And the natives on the outer islands, they didn't have access to the mixers, the juices, the sodas, and all the prepared things that were mainstream that people were putting into their cocktails. So what they did is they used what they had, and they came up with this drink, which was named Sky Juice by the folks down at the Goldie's Conch House it's called Arawak Cay, but when you go down there, it's just called Fish Fry. So, what happened was, and why is it called Sky Juice? There's a couple theories. First theory is, it's a coconut flavored drink, so sky, because the coconuts grow way up in the palm trees, so you have to climb to the sky to get them. It's one theory. Second theory is that it's after you make it, you'll see it's kind of milky and cloudy, sky juice. And then finally, the guys at Goldie's just say, leave it up to you to decide why it's called sky juice. And there's a traditional, and then I'm going to make two. The traditional sky juice, and then I'm going to play with a little bit to like an alternative way that it's accepted, but it's not really the traditional sky juice. So, first is we need some, strangely enough, for a tropical Caribbean drink, surprisingly, it's going to have some rum in it. Or not rum. No, if it was rum, it wouldn't be surprising. But it's going to be some gin. And it's weird because I guess the herbaceousness of the gin kind of play against the sweet of the coconut, and this is oh god, look at it, some sweetened condensed milk. So a couple ounces of gin, and probably not quite the same of the sweetened condensed milk. Just going to clean that up. And then what you got to do is you have to mix that together, because it's never going to combine. You could shake this drink, but today I'm just going to stir. So just mix that together a little bit. It comes together pretty good. Next, put some cubage in there, preferably some cubage that's not all frozen together. And typically, if you go around to the stands and the vendors down in the Bahamas, you're going to find piles of coconuts. They open up fresh to get the coconut water. I live in the Northeast. I don't have access to piles of coconuts, but I do have access to the store and coconut water. So, some coconut water on top. Give that another mix. And you could build this right in the glass, absolutely. But just for the sake of showing you what's going on, I'm just putting it in this glass here. So, and it's really just a kind of Bahamian down-home drink. The sky juice, it's also sometimes called a gully wash. I think some of the old school people maybe call it a gully wash. But you have to be careful, because if you order a gully wash, say you're in Malaysia, for instance, just going to get a drink of water. That's what they call gully wash. But this is a Bahamian gully wash, the traditional way, with just gin, sweetened condensed milk, and coconut water. The second version is a little bit of what I'll say the non-traditional. It's a little bit jazzed up, and it's going to start with some rum instead of the gin. Now, if you're in the Bahamas or have access to, by all means, use a little Bahamian rum. John Waitling's comes to mind. Fantastic rum. You can use that. And then the same super slow-mo. Sweetened condensed milk. Give that a mix. So, needless to say, with sweetened condensed milk in this drink, it's a sweet drink. But that's going to help because when we serve it with our paired appetizer for our cocktail party, the ceviche, which is kind of fiery and spicy, it's going to work out perfectly to cool that fire. Again, some ice, and then another dash. And don't worry about this. I'll have all the proportions in the comments below. You know, I never leave you hanging. I tell you how to make these drinks, and I tell you what's in them, so you can make them at home and bring a little bit of the Caribbean in one of our favorite places. Well, actually, it is our favorite place, the Bahamas, right to your own living room, basement, kitchen, whatever you got, wherever you celebrate with your friends and family. That's what you can do. Now, this goes in a glass almost to the top. And it's very important that you spill it on the carpet on the table there. So, what am I going to do with that extra space? I am going to put some coconut rum. Now, like we talked about last time, if you have access to some good Bahamian coconut rum, you will be my best friend. And I will come to your house for your cocktail party anytime. So after you top it with some coconut rum, you can also put a little, not much, you don't have to put much, some fresh nutmeg right on the top, or some cinnamon, or heck, you could even do both if you're so inclined. It's your party, you do it the way you want to do it. A cherry, if you have some tropical fruit, sure, you can put that on there, but the cherry is fine. So there you have it, two versions, traditional with gin, or kicked up with coconut rum and regular rum, some nutmeg, a simple drink, and you're transported to the Bahamas instantly. So what are you going to serve with that? You're going to serve some ceviche, and here's how to make it. So this starts out with some shrimp. This is chopped up shrimp I made. It's not 100% cooked, but it'll get cooked later, you'll see. And then just throw in some onions. White onions, green onions, red onions, whatever you got's going to work fine. Little trick, rinse them in cold water. Take some of that oniony sulfur out of them if you don't deal with raw onions too well. Then some sweet peppers and some hot peppers. A little jalapeno, but any hot pepper you have is fine. Then just mix, mix, mix. Now I add just a tiny little bit of chopped tomato. That's because I had it in the fridge. It's not traditionally in the recipe, but it was in the fridge. I wanted to use it up. Then you just want to season it up with some salt. And as Chef John would say, some freshly ground black pepper.
And then here is another Chef John saying, an optional yet mandatory step. Oh, some cilantro. That's not optional. That's mandatory. But here is where you want to adjust your heat level. If you want this hot, and you do, this is a Caribbean dish after all. They like things a little spicy down there. Go with some hot sauce. This is some Caribbean style. It's a chili lime hot sauce that we get on vacation. But any big store is going to have a Caribbean style hot sauce. So you use that, spice it up, like I said, if you want it hot, and you do want it hot. And then add some lime juice. Now you want a lot of lime juice because the lime juice is going to cook, and I'm doing air quotes right now. It's going to cook whatever fish you use. Traditionally in the Caribbean, they're going to make this with conch. If you have access to conch, you are my hero. Call me up. I'm coming to your party. But you can use regular, any kind of firm white fish would be great. Again, I used some shrimp. I cooked it a little bit, basically because it was frozen. So I wanted to make this. So I just threw it in some boiling water, turned it off, took it out, and it was partially cooked. And then just mix it all up. Cover it up because you want to let the lime juice, quote unquote, cook the fish for a little bit. If you're using raw fish, just let that go in the fridge until whatever fish or seafood you're using is opaque and firm and it looks cooked. And then taste it, adjust for seasoning, and you're ready to go.
So you can see just how simple that was. You serve it up in a nice glass or bowl. I mean, if you're having a party, obviously you want to make more than I made, but it's a great appetizer to go with your Bahamian sky juice. And you pair this with last week's fish dip. Yes, the Bahamas is a seafood-based culture. If you don't like fish, get over it. Go to the Bahamas, learn to love it. And you're going to have a great time. It's spicy, it's fiery, it's citrusy, and it's going to go great with your Bahamian sky juice. You know I got to try it. Pardon my crunching. That's out of this world. You got to kick it up. Put that hot sauce in there. If you like it extra hot, put some Scotch bonnet or habaneros in there. Same thing. But find yourself a good Caribbean style hot sauce and you'll be fine. Pair it up with some sky juice for another, what's the word I want to look for? Another facet to your incredible Bahamian cocktail party. So that's it for me, guys. I'm just going to hang out, pretend I'm in the tropics, and relax until I see you next time. Here's to you and yours. Until I see you next time, please drink responsibly, be happy, be healthy, and I'll save a seat at the bar for you right here at the Grantham Pub Underground. Cheers.